If I can't convince you to not go to the fucking Mountains of Mourn after the stories I've told you, then I guess I can't. Okay? You're still a stupid cunt though, but I suppose I'll stop trying to stop you. If you are going to go though, there are some things I can tell you that might give you an edge over there, stop yourself getting fucking eaten by a massive old bastard. I know a few of the Ogre tribes. I'm going to go through them with you. This might save your head one day. You see, they're all split up. It's not just one kingdom ruled by one who controls everything. It's lots of little tribes together. Now, I know a few of them from when I was there. This isn't all of them, but it might stop you from dying. Alright, here's the Goldtooth Tribe. They're one of the major factions of the Ogre Kingdoms. Since the days of the infamous tyrant Gothug, the Goldtooth Ogres have gained notoriety as the wealthiest of all the tribes. Now, under the rule of Greasus Goldtooth, the Goldtooth Tribe has grown yet richer. Ever eager to show off their top status, the tribe is given to ostentatious displays, from a vast mountain-top feast hall to their solid gold moor-tooth. The Goldtooths boast legions of iron guts, who are renowned for the precious metals and gemstones worked into their armour and gut plates, and naturally have at least one of their teeth replaced with a gold one. Most other tribes have learned the hard way that it is best not to mess with them Goldtooths. All ogres cut a brutal path of devastation when they cross the land, which is why I don't know why you want to fucking go there, but none have earned a greater reputation for smashing and grabbing than the Thunderguts tribe, alright? Occasionally the Thunderguts try to hold an enemy town or stronghold for ransom, extorting them so that they might hand over long strings of livestock to the ogres. However, such plans continually fail. The over-greedy tribe proves either too impatient to wait for their ransom, or they simply eat their payment and then renege on their pledge not to attack. Many are the empire towns and orc forts that were levelled soon after they thought their freedom was bought with meat. Having recently returned to the Mountains of Mourn from a long journey into the Badlands and beyond, it can only be a matter of time before the tribe moves on again. The Crossed Clubs are a tribe within the Ogre Kingdoms known for its mercenaries and outlandish fibbery. Every tribe produces man-eaters, those far-ranging ogres who have fought in many lands. The Crossed Clubs tribe, however, is infamous not only for the sheer number of its ogres who have fought as mercenaries, but also for the prodigious lies the veteran can shovel out, making much of their renown dubious at best. While many ogres bear battle scars, the presence of so many hard-fighting veterans in the Crossed Clubs ensure the tribe is full of ogres with hook hands, eye patches, peg legs and the like. Add to this the outlandish war gear collected from the four corners of the world, such as burkas from Araby, shell-tipped clubs from the coasts, or enormous lizard skull helmets from the Southlands, and the Crossed Clubs are surprisingly one of the most disparate and unusual looking of all ogre tribes. The Sons of the Mountain Tribe is one of the major groups found within the Ogre Kingdoms, famous for hunting alongside yetis. While most tribes prefer to stake their camps in the valleys of the Mountains of Mourn, the Sons of the Mountain take great pride in residing near the top of the Tusk, a particularly high peak on the borders of the ancient giant lands. There, the tribe has grown famous for hunting the many beasts that live in the mountains, and their trade in ivory has made them rich indeed. The Sons of the Mountain wear distinctive white war paint, as they claim that it better camouflages them in the eternal snow of the mountain top. Usually many yetis and other mountain-dwelling monsters reside with the Sons of the Mountain, and the ogres themselves seem to share an affinity with these creatures, even going so far as to hunt with the yetis in the wilds. The well-fed lowlanders of the Feastmaster Tribe are famous for two things: the quality of their food and the halflings that live amongst them. Their heavily jowled tyrant, Blout Feastmaster, he's a real fat cunt, captured a string of the small folk during his many travels, and in display of foresight and extreme self-control for a fucking ogre, brought them home for the lads instead of eating them then and there. The halflings, in perpetual fear of ending up in the trough, fulfil much of the same role as noblars, but in addition to fetching, they also help to prepare the food. As long as they keep making top-notch meals, the halflings won't end up being a light snack themselves. Probably. The rock skulls are amongst the toughest of all ogre tribes. Each year at the Great Feast, it is inevitably a rock skull who wins the boulder butting contests, where ogres try to split the most enormous of rocks using only their heads. Coincidentally, the rock skulls are also amongst the most dim-witted of ogres, and they have been tricked or swindled a great many times over by many, many opponents. Skarsnik, the Night Goblin warlord of Eight Peaks, notoriously hired a large contingent of rock skull mercenaries to fight in his battles against the dwarfs. After being thoroughly bewildered during the contract talks, the rock skull leader ended up paying Skarsnik for the honour of aiding the greenskins. Led by burly tyrant Bull Mallet Hands, the Blood Guzzlers tribe rules the Vale of Webs in the middle of the northern region of the Mountains of Mourn, having settled in a valley notoriously haunted by enormous spiders. The ogres have become expert arachnid hunters. The Blood Guzzler butchers brag that they can roast, deleg and devour even the largest of spiders in mere moments, and the huge piles of many segmented legs and empty exoskeletons that are left after a typical Blood Guzzler's feast attest to that skill. The Ironskin ogres are a fierce lot, known for their hard-hitting charges and their penchant for black iron gut plates. The tribe's speciality is to launch massive avalanche-like attacks on their foes, smashing into them in a single sweeping crush. During such assaults, they always seek to grab as many prisoners as they can, and then march quickly home to their deep valley in the northwestern range of the Mountains of Mourn. So prodigious and successful are these attacks that the Ironskin Tribe has thus established strong ties to the citadel of Tsar Nagrund, whom they trade with to obtain their armour, and as rumours have it, the great mechanical beast ridden by their tyrant, Gark Ironskin. The Lazargs, known previously as the Lazars, are one of the oldest ogre tribes, being descended from the first prophet of the Great Moor, Groth Onefinger himself. Living on the southeastern edge of the ancient giant lands, the Lazars are now twisted and malformed creatures, choosing to wrap themselves in filthy sackcloth to avoid the unhealthy winds that still sweep off the desolate wastes that used to be the ogre homeland. Many tribe members begin to lose their teeth to the debilitating energies of that strange land, but the Lazargs simply hammer black rock directly into their ravaged gums, lending them a distinctly horrifying appearance. Theirs is the last valley on the road leading to the moor itself, and the tolling bells that hang from the totems marking their territory haunt all the ogres that pass through the fetid site on pilgrimages to visit their unforgiving god. One of the many horrors of the Dark Lands The Eyebiter Tribe dominates the region around the Sentinels, the great rocks that tower over the crossroads where the Silver Road, Spice Route and Ivory Road meet in the howling wastes. There, in addition to the heavy tithing the waypost traders set up in shanties burrowed into the great rocks, they range out to capture slaves, smash any settlements they can find, and to hunt the dreary plains for the many foul monsters that live there. The Eyebiters are a close-knit tribe ruled by Malron Eyebiter, a long-lived tyrant who has sired more strong sons and grandsons than any other ogre alive. Based on what I know of ogre tribes, that means that he's gonna fucking die. The hulking tyrant Baldig Mountain Eater is the kind of ogre of which legends are made. Baldig has sought out and conquered many of the most menacing peaks found in the Mountains of Mourn, including the much dreaded Mount Thug. He has defeated them all and even, it is said, toppled Big Stride Peak when he burrowed under it and ate the heart of the mountain. Naturally drawn to such a tough and charismatic leader, the growing Mountain Eater tribe imitates Baldig by eating rocks with every meal so that they can become as tough and stubborn as their tyrant. Often underground, the Mountain Eaters have developed a taste for the races they habitually find there, actually preferring dwarf, skaven or night goblin meat to all other.
Hello, 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 or Subaks Vanagsan, as they say in Somali.